Today I'm going to talk about memorabilia featuring members of the Gamblers organization. However, it's not necessarily Gamblers memorabilia. Now, wait a minute, let me explain. The Gamblers were only around for 2 years, and a very limited amount of memorabilia was produced during that 2-year time frame. However, some of these coaches and players actually had careers in professional sports spanning much longer than just that 2-year period with the Gamblers. They could have been featured in magazine articles. They could have had their own football cards. They may even have their own figurines if you're talking about Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly is the example that, of course, comes to mind. He went on to have a long, successful career with the Buffalo Bills. He had his own restaurant. There's just a bunch of memorabilia that could be related to Jim Kelly that's obviously not just during his 2 years with the Gamblers. We'll talk about that in a bit. There's also other players and coaches involved. Jack Pardee comes to mind. You'll find football cards featuring Jack Pardee going all the way back to the early 1960s. And one that I picked up the other day happens to be from Topps, and this is his 1970 Topps card, but it's not just any 1970 Topps card. This one happens to be, dun dun dun, this happens to be a one-of-one example from the Topps file notebook. Now what that basically is, back in the day, Topps used to keep a notebook of every specimen of every card they produced. And they recently opened their vault and sent these one-of-one copies off to Beckett to be professionally slabbed and so forth. And this used to be the file copy sitting in their vault showing what this card looked like. Really kind of cool. Picked it up on eBay for about $13. And that's just one example of how, if you keep your eyes open, you will find interesting, in my opinion, interesting memorabilia of former Gambler players and coaches. The list goes on and on and on, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Oddball collections can really go as far as you want to take it. I think most people tend to stick to things that are sports related. When you start to collect water bottles that were actually used by an athlete, that sometimes gets a little strange and hard to prove that they even used it. But one thing about Jim Kelly, for example, he owned a bar in downtown Buffalo back in the early 90s, and one thing that I picked up that came from that bar that happens to be one of a kind of cool, is this big sign that actually details and gives the dates of a beer tasting that he had in his bar. It's from the early 90s, December 7th. Might have even been around 1991, so that would have been a hell of a way to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. I'll drink to that. One night I was surfing eBay, probably 2 in the morning, and I typed in Jim Kelly's name, and this came up. It was going to be ending within a few minutes. I placed a ridiculous bid. I think I bid the minimum 99 cents, and an hour later it was mine. The shipping obviously was more than the item itself, but that's really the name of the game. We're looking for oddball items that are unique but not expensive. Not everyone's going to go, ooh, look at that. But those people that really are Jim Kelly collectors or Jack Pardee collectors, they're going to go, wow, that's kind of cool. you have it. That's my take on memorabilia that's not actually gamblers' memorabilia, but it relates to members of the gamblers organization. Have fun hunting. There's plenty out there if you don't limit yourself to just gamblers' items. And once again, unique is good. Being in good condition is even better. And if you have any questions about anything I've shown here, or if you'd like to show me some things that you've collected that you might want me to pass on to other viewers, certainly feel free to email me anytime. I'm at policefan71@yahoo.com. See you next time.